As a reminder, please no video of any sort. We will go straight to questions for players. Please raise your hand and state your name and affiliation.
Elijah Campbell, WNKT in Columbia. I'll go give this one to Jeremiah. I mean, you guys had a pretty epic comeback there, I guess, in the last minute of this game. What's kind of the message with the team, and then as it pertained to being able to build your way back into this?
Really just continue to keep our heads up and keep fighting. It's more basketball for us to play, and really just staying together through it all. So.
And then for Jalon, too, I mean, a lot of deflections. It's really hard to get 2 steals when you really need it. A lot of teams would have just fouled. What about you guys was well-suited to be able to force those turnovers and be able to create the chaos that you did?
I think just us being in those situations before, and then us just continuing to be resilient and continue to stay connected the whole game throughout that run. And even when we were down 12, just us being resilient and staying connected. That's what we were able to get those deflections.
Back here.
C.L. Brown, Louisville Courier-Journal. This is for you, Jeremiah. You got off to a slow start shooting the ball. Was there something that just clicked for you? Was it their defense changing? I know Lamont Butler had gone out of the game at midway through the first half. It seemed like you just kind of got going after that.
My team and the coaches just did a great job of making sure I stay confident throughout the whole game, whether the ball's going in or not. And I just want to thank you to them, the coaches and the players as well. And I think it helped a lot.
Any other questions for the players? Gentlemen, you're dismissed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Coach. Please raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you. Right here.
Coach, last 5 seconds of the game, obviously a lot of emotional swings, and Owe got that drive all the way down to the basket. What was kind of, I guess, the plan to keep him, or I guess to try to make Kentucky shoot the hardest shot possible? And from your perspective, how did things kind of break down?
Well, first of all, I want to just say how incredibly resilient our guys have been. And not just tonight, for weeks now. You know, these guys have fought through hard, fought through adversity. We constantly talk to our guys about that proverb, fall 7, rise 8. They keep falling and keep getting up. All right, we lost 2 heartbreakers to Kentucky and Ole Miss on a last-second shot. And how do we respond from that? We have 3 straight quad 1 wins. Come back today, we got down. I mean, the opening, there was a storm. The fan base, the atmosphere, how they started, that was a storm. How we handled that has been how our team has been all year, resilient. We went on a 19-6 run to end the game up until that last 2 points. That is resiliency. Never quit, never die, staying together. That last play, obviously emotional. We were going to be in a 1-2-2 trap. We were going to trap them, and you had the sideline and 2 players, and we let it get across around the side corner. And we knew where they were going. We were going to try to bottle them up and trap them, and the trap was ineffective. And once he gets going, once he turned the corner, you just knew. He just puts his head down, and it's hard to take a charge. It's hard to do anything. He's as fast and powerful in the country when he turns the corner. The problem was we were putting him in a box in a trap, and he turned the corner in a trap.
You mentioned the atmosphere in this building, too. I mean, that's basically a Kentucky home game, it feels like. But when you guys get down with, double digits, with as late in the game as it was, what's kind of, I guess, the message to your players to keep everybody kind of engaged and still confident enough to be able to make the comeback you guys did? Not a lot of teams.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Kind of the message to the team during that, whenever it's
right now or during the game?
During the game, when you get down 12 and it's
so we were pressing, and we were trying to get 2 or 3 traps before fouling. You saw me, I got upset one time. We fouled with like 50 seconds. We were trying to get traps without fouling. And the guys just kept on being resilient. We ran a little play, a back thing for Fears to get that three. He knocked it down. And the guys were just scrambling and playing defense. And Fears made a great play at the end. We didn't have a timeout left, and I probably wouldn't have called it anyways if you had. I would have rather called it against the press. But he made a great play to come back and take the lead. Man, resilient toughness. So my message at the time was we were trying to trap without fouling until they got across half court. And at the end, we were trying to get 2-3 traps and to keep going. And that was our plan. And we got 2 steals with it. We actually got one earlier too. Kobe got one on the press. We got 3 steals against the press. But just I'm heartbroken for those guys, because they just everything we've asked these guys to do. When people counted us out, just kept on every day coming to practice, our staff, and just believe in you guys. There's a path. There's a path. And we beat Mississippi State, and we come back and lose just heartbreakers to Ole Miss and Kentucky, and then we beat Missouri, at Texas, Georgia, 3 quad 1 wins, and just not easy to do with the schedule we've had. And I'm happy and I'm excited that we're not done playing. I'm excited to go to battle with these guys again in the tournament.
Tyler Thompson, Kentucky Sports Radio. Obviously a tough finish for you guys, but what were your impressions of Kentucky after playing them twice, and specifically Otega Owe?
Well, I coached Otega, so I know my impression of him. He's very, very good. But in terms of Kentucky, the team, they just got a lot of weapons. They got 2 really good passing bigs. That's really. They got some elite shooters. They got Carr can knock. They can knock. Almost all of them can knock down threes. Like everybody can shoot. So it's tough to pick your poison when you're spaced out with Otega going downhill the way he does. But I think they can make a long run. They got a lot. They got some older guys, some veterans, some winners, and I believe that their offense is hard to guard, and so I think getting in this tournament, people are going to have to adjust and see that 5 out, because not too many teams have 2 bigs that can pass like they do, and they run excellent stuff. They run excellent stuff at that 5 out, and I think they're going to be a hard out.
To your left.
CL Brown with the Louisville Courier-Journal. Porter, and kind of piggybacking off of that, in what ways do you feel like they were different when Lamont Butler got injured and went out the game?
Lamont's a Final Four point guard, and he's done great things for them this whole year. He gives you an elite defender. He gives you a confident leader at the point. He's a terrific player, and got a lot of respect for him.
Porter, what if anything can you say to a young guy like Jeremiah Fears, who just seemed really distressed and kind of heartbroken about the way that game ended?
Because he's such a competitive kid, it wasn't about him scoring points or making that last shot. It was about winning the game. We really came in here 1 game at a time to advance in this tournament. What it says a lot about him is he didn't let his offense missing shots early in the game affect what he was doing. Maybe early on, a couple months ago, that's growth. If he wasn't scoring, in the beginning of the SEC run, if some things people were getting on him, because Otega was all over him, and he wouldn't have reacted. He kept on fighting through. You could just see his growth when things weren't going his way, missing some shots, and then he started turning it, getting guys involved. He had 5 assists. I think all those assists might have been the second half. We had I think in the second half we had 9 assists, 3 turnovers. Much better in the second half with that. But I saw his growth, maybe early on, a couple, missing those shots that he's missed earlier might have affected the rest of his game. He still was in tune, still leading. He wasn't letting that bring him down. That's growth.
Any more questions? Okay, Coach, thank you.